welcome back. This is going to be a part 2. And if I remember correctly where I was at, I was talking about recognizing when we feel triggered, like learning to not take that so personally starts with recognizing that our triggers are not someone else's fault, but and they are in our power to change, but that does not necessarily mean it is our fault either. It's like getting away from the whose fault is it, and because that does injure the self-worth, and that doesn't help anything. In fact, that makes it more difficult to heal. And so when you start to transmute triggers, you're able to resolve conflict before it even really becomes conflict, and you feel better about it, and that actually creates a certain level of confidence that is very appealing and adored by many. It also helps you accomplish more in every kind of relationship: intimate, familial, platonic, romantic, parental, etc. And once you start to get to that level, you're less stressed, you're less exhausted because you're not constantly hypervigilant, and then you're able to kind of start to see the trees in the forest, to see the path that leads through, so that you know what's coming ahead. You're vigilant enough, but you're not constantly worried about what might be 100 yards behind you that might bite you in the butt, or what might be just over that hill that you feel like you might not know how to handle, because you're gonna know. And in the moments when you run into not knowing what to do, even if it creates distress or conflict, that's going to teach you. And especially when you start to recognize that, we attract people to us that will trigger us in the ways that we need to be triggered in order to heal from unhealthy habits and behaviors that are holding us back. And because everybody has kind of a general desire to truly be happy and healthy and accepted and appreciated and adored, and we constantly, whether intentional or not, are praying and sending out intentions to manifest that. And we don't often realize it's kind of like, be careful what you wish for. If you want to be more courageous, you're going to be put in situations where you feel afraid. You have to be courageous. If you're wanting more focus, you're going to be put in situations where you're confused, distracted, disoriented, so you can learn to focus. If you want to be happy, you're going to be put in situations where you're very sad or angry a lot. If you want to learn to be genuine, and you want to feel genuine and authentic and feel like that's easy, well, you're going to be put in a lot of situations where you are tested to stand in your truth, even if it makes you look a little bit crazy, or even if it doesn't align with what maybe your family or people that you used to growing up with believe is the correct way to be. And you're going to be put in a lot of situations where you probably end up lying or deceiving or trying to do that because you want to feel genuine and authentic, and you want that to be easy. So you're going to keep manifesting those situations until you do that. So getting to that place where you're no longer taking it personally when someone creates conflict, or not necessarily creates it, but is the manifested source of the contrast that you need in order to see where healing is needed, where your growth points are, then you no longer fear the next time it's going to happen, which actually dissipates some of the tension between you and whoever that is, or even if it's like a random person that might come up, you actually start to appreciate the people that bring that up for you, because they help you figure out what you really want, how you really want to feel, and it helps you gain momentum in your life so that you become more stable. And that creates stability financially, emotionally, intellectually, romantically, all of it. Your professional life and personal life start to get easier and better, and you start to feel better. And then you got to figure out what to do when you realize that you're so used to the extreme moments that it feels unusual and disorienting. Disorienting. I can't say that word today. I'm not good in a Mercury, Leo. Either way, the growth moments are beautiful, especially when you start to recognize how they actually help you, even if they are temporarily painful. There is a purpose to it, and often we have actually asked to have that experience. We just didn't think it through. But it's like saying, would you go back and change anything in your life, even if where you are right now isn't where you expect it to be, or it's a little bit painful? Like, would you go back and change it? Most often people will say no, because then they wouldn't have the beautiful memories and connections in there. And that's how life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be imperfectly perfect, not perfect. Anyways, these are some thoughts that I have on healing, reactive and disorganized attachment, and beginning to transmute triggers into healing opportunities. I'm going to continue to add to this series, and hopefully it'll get a little bit more pithy and fine-pointed. But if you have any specific questions or experiences, or something in particular resonates or sounds like total BS, I'd love your feedback in the comments section. And I always leave my email if you'd like to contact me, either for coaching or just to share an experience. It's not shared publicly, whatever you like. Either way, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.